si no tengo problemas después voy a poner a grabar ahora también, porque no queremos que pase como la otra vez, que no grabó, pero no se veía porque no me olvidé de seleccionar eso. Bueno, en el caso, The Phantom Pain. The Phantom Lane. Por si acaso voy a recargar la página si puedo ver. Qué calor que hace. Corriendo día que tuve. No voy a hablar mucho porque no quiero hablar de mi vida privada en un lugar público. Pero qué día de porquería. Hace tiempo que no tenía un día tan malo. No voy a elaborar, pero está. Esta semana está haciendo en general una porquería. Todo. No importa, video. Puedo saltar esto. Ok, me guardo. Ok, se ve. Sí. Necesito ver la historia. Esta parte no ya la vimos. Bueno, eso. Qué alto que está. Voy a dar el coso del prólogo. Parece que será el último punto guardado. Voy a bajarme volumen porque lo tengo altísimo. Y el mismo. Otra vez. Tengo 20.000. Y lo mismo. Igual. Nunca de fuego. Vamos. No entiendo qué está pasando ahora mismo. Si ya lo que es Hideo Kojima. No te imaginas Hideo Kojima. Todo por Hideo Kojima. Voy a hacer una broma que puede ser de mal gusto. No, de Sócelo.
Name's Ocelot. Big boss. You know who I am. A certain man gave me a job to do. Two, actually. First was to get you out of that hospital. Second was to rescue the man himself.
Por efecto, como si no lo conoce.
Your partner 9 years ago, Kazuhira Miller.
O sea, entiendo de que...
9 years back, your private
claro.
army came under attack by Cypher.
No, ya está medio...
Were considered dead until today. day, that is, when Cypher found me. It's not just them. The whole world wants you dead.
Que Big Boss tiene daño cerebral.
You'll have to join up with Miller. Build that private
Neta.
army of yours one more time. It's your only chance.
Pero no sé, como que se siente mucho de que... no sabe quién es. O sea, no era el que supone que sabe que es Big Boss, no sé.
First, we need to save Miller. He's in Afghanistan.
Y no actúa como Ocelot. Honestamente, o sea, no se parece en nada. No se siente nada ni se ve en la cara a Ocelot. O sea, no me gusta
4
eso.
years ago, the Soviets invaded Afghanistan. Muslims are fighting back with Western
Y esto se
support.
siente mucho otra vez, ¿no?
Miller
Digo,
was training Mujahideen
Metal Gear para los que
rebels
nunca jugaron Metal Gear. O sea, ni jugaste Ground Zero ni nada.
Troop strength somewhere around 100,000. Squad holding Miller set off near the Pakistan border yesterday.
¿Por qué lo
In
tiene?
3 days, they'll reach the Soviet garrison. They'll be interrogated for a few more days. It's off to a locker. Or left to rot in a ditch on Afghan soil. I give him 2 weeks. The job didn't mean anything to Miller. He only took it on to keep you safe.
O sea, si fuera otra persona no tendría problemas, pero este no se siente como Ocelot.
It's a whaling ship. Had a pretty good deal on it once the IWC started raising a stink. Now 7 days to Port Qasim, another 3 overland. So we won't have much time once we're there. Don't take too long getting used to your new self. Hang on.
Sos que tenés bastantes pistas de que no sos Big Boss. O sea, al final que iba a ser algo más escondido o algo, pero te da un montonazo de pistas. Es todo Hideo Kojima. ¿Cuántas veces pusieron esto de director a Hideo Kojima en este juego? Al menos 3 yo creo. Tiene un ego Kojima, pero hacemos los juegos, por lo que está. Venganza, Revengeance. Citrus, de Kelia e Iguamar. Se quedaron sin plata. Oh. ¿Por qué le falta un dedo? Poner cosas ahorita sobre el volumen porque volvió a bajar. No saben hacer volumen. No saben mixear el volumen. No, ¿por qué se ve tan? Le metieron un filtro, parece que hubiera downscale. Estaría jugando en pantalla completa sin bordes. Ok. Gracias, supongo. Creo que es una dragona. Es una traducción mala solamente, pero está. Y no, pero nadie piensa en dónde está Ismael.
The area ahead is under total Soviet control. Miller's been captive for 10 days. Not much time left.
Weather will clear shortly.
Storm's passing.
Sí, creo que lo escuché. Igual, gracias, Ocelot. Punish Venom Snake. Healer. Pero no sordo porque está en comillas. ¿Y desde cuándo que uno usa Yalashaska?
Getting used to it?
Suppose Parasite Theory. Ese debe ser los títulos así tipo serie. Forias que se ve muy mal, pero lo puedo perdonar.
After 9 years on ice.
Tengo que descargar el modo de Evergreen.
Solo infiltration of the Soviet-made ground forces. Should be the
Será
perfect
chido.
one. Kazuhira Miller is being held in Dawandehar to the north. Check its location now. Take out your eye drone.
Si creo que sé jugar este juego, ay Dios.
See Wandy on the map? That's where they're keeping Miller. Only problem is we don't know his exact location. Finding it is your first priority. Go ahead and close the eye drone.
Sí, no había extraído.
Got your binoculars, or should I say, in scope? See the village? Straight ahead?
Sí, la veo.
All right, that's the village. If you see something through the binoculars and you need more information, just give me a call. I'll tell you anything I can about it. That's Violo Village, the Violo Calais. The villagers fled the war and evacuated a while back. Since then, it's become a base for the Soviets' 40th Army. A few days ago, Miller was taken through there, en route towards Dawandehar. You may be able to pick up the trail there. It's worth a shot. Put a marker on it so you don't lose track of where it is.
¿Qué se supone que tengo que hacer?
Marker placed.
¿Cómo saco un...?
Take a look through your binoculars.
Marker removed. Marker
Good.
placed.
Now you won't have to worry about getting lost along the way. Can't have much left in it. I give him 3 days tops.
No era 2 semanas.
If we fail, and he dies, we lose our chance of revenge. But we need more intel. You just go charging into Dawandehar, you'll be putting both your lives at risk. See what you can find out first. The Soviets have other outposts, not just the one you saw. Afghanistan is a big place. I expect you to become quite familiar with those binoculars as you plan your next move. How and where you make it, well, that's up to you. From here on out, you're on your own. You're a legend in the eyes of those who live on the battlefield. That's why you have to handle this mission yourself.
El trailing del pelo es muy malo.
Years behind you. And return is Big Boss.
Y eso ya sabemos que es
I'll be sending
entonces.
additional intel by radio. Stay
No
sharp.
sea. No hicimos nada de
One of
eso.
Miller's
Falta
bodyguards
algo ahí.
survived.
Yo
They
siento.
were good.
Ridículo.
All we found on the scene were their corpses and these. They'll be missing them. And you're his only hope of getting them back.
No, go.
Now go!
Sí.
Let the legend come back to life.
Caras son medio raras. Ya he elegido. Ah, ok. Ok, más no es nada. Misiones, rescatar a...
Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on fire. What do you remember from the hospital? Anything we can use? Well, he took off the moment the sprinklers started up. Sprinklers? The fire system? And when he got sprayed with water from the burst pipe, it slowed him down. If we escaped on horseback, he wouldn't cross the river either. And then it started to rain. And he disappeared. Water against fire. Is it that simple? I mean, it makes sense. It's just hard to believe it would work on a guy like that.
¿Cómo se supone que usa esto? Ahí tenemos otra cinta.
You were hospitalized in Dekelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Dekelia? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto. Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy? Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead. He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent. They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Dekelia is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all. What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south. Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established. And Dekelia sits right on top of it. It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around. So how you're heading outside the mission area. The Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America. They all had their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like death, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames, and then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different.
Quiero ver los controles.
You're up. We're changing ships. We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler. The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it? Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? Gonna transfer to a container ship or passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road.
A few days ago, Miller was taken through there, en route towards Dewandehar. The transport log might still be around somewhere.
It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge.
They've got Miller locked up in that town, but we don't know his exact location.
Counter strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It'll be a tough march. Better horses and boats. Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because
You're almost at the enemy outpost, Via Low Village. The village is crawling with enemy soldiers. Don't just go waltzing in. Start with some recon. Is there anywhere that overlooks the village?
this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
No, no
That's
escuché.
quite some news. The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics. Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics? Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won him the presidency.
How about it? Can you see the village from there? Use the binoculars to recon the place.
The Second Cold War. And there's been no end to regional conflicts.
Look at where the enemies are stationed. Look at their gear. Take it all in. There should be a command post somewhere. See any buildings with tighter security? If there are clues to Miller's whereabouts, I'll bet you can find them in there.
Of course, on the Egyptian side, President Sadat was assassinated afterward. Apparently, his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs. Islamic extremists? Yes. Fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terrorism in recent years. We've had extremist students in Iran take U.S. embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed. The countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terrorism. Afraid of losing their own men, they pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity. Private forces, small armies with no national affiliation, working for the highest bidder. That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet the soaring demand. Miller's organization is just one of many PFs now. The entire world is after you. But at the same time, it needs you too.
Ok, vamos a esperar.
That's marking. Focus on the thread and it'll be marked automatically. You can mark enemies and vehicles by zooming in with your binoculars or camera. Once they're marked, you'll also see their positions on the map.
Ok. Creo que esto sería suficiente, no habrá más enemigos. Se supone que como es el primer nivel, todos los enemigos van a quedarse en una posición, ¿no?
Sun will set shortly.
Boss, you don't understand what he said? Nah, I guess that makes sense. It looks like that horn stuck in your head has impacted the language center of your brain. If only we had a recruit with the Russian interpreter skill, we could get by with simultaneous interpretation. Don't leave bodies out in the open. Find some place to drop them out of sight.
Qué temprano que anochece en este país. ¿Qué se supone que tenía que hacer?
It's up to you whether to slip by enemies or take them down. Just remember that any situation can change fast. Familiarize yourself with your weapons and items while you can. You need to be able to switch between them quickly to meet any threat.
Marker removed.
A few days ago, Miller was taken through there, en route towards Dewandehar. The transport log might still be around somewhere.
Registro de transporte. A ver lo que quería hacer, pelota.
Не делай этого!
Where are the others?
I don't know English. Английский.
Understanding a language and being able to interpret from that language for somebody else are two different things. Juggling languages at a rapid-fire pace is more difficult than you might think. So, in other words, while I do speak Russian, don't expect me to do your interpreting.
No sé qué estoy haciendo acá, honestamente.
Я не хочу умирать!
Ya hay una planta.
That's a type of medicinal plant. Bring it back to base.
Ya veré buscar.
Sure to be useful sometime.
Da guardia. A tocar averiguar el paradero de...
Parabolic antenna. There could be intel files of some kind in there. Those materials are already processed. They should come in handy sooner or later. Why not start gathering them?
No se ve nada. toque de vida.
Hiding on horseback allows you to stay out of sight even while on the move. It's effective for avoiding enemy guard posts and long-range reconnaissance patrols. Sight, sound, keep all your enemy senses in mind.
Ya sé,
When you're near an enemy, stay low and move slowly. If you stand up and run around, you'll make it easier for them to spot.
Ok, supongo. Pongo wifi de
So you
suscripción.
picked up an intel file.
Extraction.
Now we know where Miller is.
Base.
I'm marking it on your iDroid.
The map has been updated.
Ok. ¿Dónde está? Miren, acá. Pero quiero ir ahí para ver. Voy a bajar. Ok. Ahora que pasó tendría que usar esto. Square, ¿cuál era Square? Square era este.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Anytime you need advice, just give me a call.
Ok, no vale la pena, creo. Ok, no un por otro, si no uso el Se preguntan por qué, porque quiero ver, que no me queda de paso. Quiero ver qué... Porque está dentro de la misión y tal. Capaz que hay algo útil.
It's an enemy guard post.
Ok, en el estante no sé cómo logré hacer eso. Tiene batería de los cosos de este juego.
Guard post captured.
Lie down. Get Вы говорите по-русски?
I'll let you know if we locate a soldier with the
Я,
Extracting
я
him will
знаю
enable you to
по-русски,
understand what the Soviets are saying.
но я не
Otherwise, your interrogations are
хорошо.
going to be a waste of time.
Ok, vamos a ver qué hay. Sí, tiene batería en este juego.
A portable toilet. If you're gonna hide inside, watch the enemy doesn't decide to use it. Same goes for hiding downed enemies in it.
Voy a meter un cassette. Lo que pasó en el Caribe.
Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You formed a private army with him. An army with no
O sea, te ponen estos, es como si no supieras.
I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. Still all a mess. All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now, but this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men, basically mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force. The reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. It was a huge job he was offering, but you had a shot at pulling it off. You accepted it and headed into Costa Rica. The client even threw in an offshore facility in the Caribbean. The mother base. That would be your new base of operations. Miller sure did have a business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew. More weapons, more money. Before you knew it, you were commanding 300 men. As the organization got bigger, your military power swelled to match. It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you.
Que lo contrario es el costo,
Successful for your own good. You, your men, had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF. Officially, they're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher as bait. While you were gone, XOF...
It's a Soviet communications post.
...stormed Mother Base. At the same time...
Planning to walk the whole wilderness on foot? Use your horse.
The whole thing went down in minutes. XOF. Kisses and hugs, followed by a big F-U. All because of Miller's blind spot. A back door into Mother Base no one suspected. You remember a certain scientist. Huey was responsible for bringing the inspection team on board, giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home. You were returning from Cuba when it happened. Mother Base came damn close to taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again, until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. Dr. DeC wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even finished operating, your men moved you to that hospital in Cyprus. It was a woman named Eva who arranged that. Rings a bell, Most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start. But you survived. You went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open. Full venom. The days of naked Snake are long gone. Welcome back, Venom Snake. This world still needs you. Here, Snake, try this on. A prosthetic arm. Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's pulled up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think? I can still feel my real arm. You better get used to this one quick. You have any pain? Every now and then. Where? My fingertips. My left fingertips. Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand. Yeah. What about your vision? Can you see okay? Yeah, at the moment. The shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have an effect on your visual cortex. Yeah. The doctor mentioned your brain might process visual information incorrectly. In other words, you could have hallucinations. You might see things that aren't there, not see things that they really are. You experience any of that? I think so. When? Right after I wake up. Colors look faded. Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of itself, but it could be the difference between life and death in the field. You need to watch out for that. I will. All right. You should continue your physio. We'll be arriving soon. It's the last chance you'll get.
Ok. Perdón por no hablar mucho, espérate. Este juego es un poco más justo, son un poco más justas las alertas, lo que me gusta. Tengo mucho tiempo, lo que no tendría que estar haciendo esto, lo sé, pero tranquilizadores. Si tuviera subtítulos solamente podría entenderlo, pero está. Y Anie.
You have arrived at your destination. Outpost captured.
Nice. Ok, ya capturamos esto, vamos a irnos y a salvar a Miller.
You can use your prosthetic arm to make a knocking sound anywhere and lure the enemy. You can also select empty magazines to throw from among your support weapons.
Ok, vamos a salvar a Miller.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Esa ruta de camino que puedo tomarla. No veo nada.
You've reached one day. They've got Miller locked up in that town. Check your iDroid for his location. I hope to hell he's alright. He's not your average client.
You people have standards. Claro, no hay nadie. Nadie visible, por lo menos. Ahí hay uno. Esto es malo. Ok, no, estamos bien. Hace mucho ruido, Snake. Creo que tipo no viene a investigar, por lo que voy a agarrar este. Si no se despierta lo voy a... Que ya. O no lo despierta. escondernos. Ya parece haber alguien. Quería hacer, maldita sea. Sé que es una pérdida de tiempo, pero capaz que puedo hacer el Outpost Capture en esto. Lo que me gustaría capturar este Outpost. Si se puede, obviamente. Yo no sé si se puede. Como es una visión de historia, todo eso, un lugar de historia. Sin munición. Creo que no, bueno. Shit. Ok, creo que esos serían todos. Y creo que ahora serían todos. Ok, creo que ahora serían todos. Ok, unos dormidos, pero tal. Ok, creo que deshice todos los enemigos. No llego a ver ningún otro.
That's tarragon, a type of medicinal plant. It contains trace amounts of a benzodiazepine derivative that's the active ingredient in phantasmin. That's the building, boss. That's where they're holding Miller.
Ah, era doble terras. Aquí tengo que terminar ahora.
If you need to pass the time, go ahead and smoke that cigar of yours.
Outpost captured.
God. No more use for me, huh? Cause it's me. I'm here to get you out. Snake. They do something to your eyes? No, it's just bright as all. What took you so long? We'll talk, but not here.
extraction arrived at Mother Base.
You've secured the target. I'll send the chopper to get you out. Make your way to the RV. You can check the location on your iDroid.
Mission info has been updated.